Hello everyone and welcome to another Stoosman Brown race review video. Today we have a real fun one for you, a real exciting race because over the weekend we had 30 laps at Interlagos in this bad boy right here. This Super Formula Honda is the one that we went with in this race. And this machine is a high downforce machine, high speed. And guys, in PSVR 2, this thing is incredibly fun to drive, but it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. You're gonna slide around a little bit. You're gonna need throttle control or some traction control. It takes a little bit of finesse to get this guy to do what you want it to do, but once you get locked in and once you get in the groove, it is so much fun to drive, and especially in PSVR 2. So with that being said, we are going to get into our time trial right here. Let's see what we can do. Starting off the lap on the back straight. Just trying to get as best an exit possible to get as much speed to start your lap off. Coming around the start finish. Entering into turn 1. We're going to brake right at the end of that wall, and right here we're going to try to keep it as flat as possible, but that is much easier said than done. It takes a lot of confidence to get that corner right. I think I was losing a lot of time every single lap there because I just did not have the confidence to step on the throttle. Entering into the sweeping right-hand turn, which then leads into the more technical part of the circuit. Going a little bit wide there, but still catching up with our Ghost. We're trying to keep it nice and tight on this left-hander. These last two corners were constantly giving me trouble through all my time trial and also the race. And let's see if we could stick it right here. This was another corner that you just needed to have confidence to get on the throttle early, and I was losing a lot of time. And that gives us a 1:15.5. Let's see where that puts us in the world. So close to that top 1,000, guys. I always say we're shooting for that top 1,000 all the time, and we didn't get it. We were so close. I didn't want to put in any more time, though. I did a bunch of laps. This was the best that it was going to be. You could see we're about a 10th off of the top 1,000, so that's a little disappointing, but we're pretty close. It's not too bad. And now it was time to enter our race. But first, we're going to take a look at the point rankings real quick. You could see right there we are 26th in our local rankings, and let's see why that is. And you can see right there it's because we missed the first race. Unfortunately, we had work, but we're going to try to get some points here. We're 8th in Los Angeles, 26th in California, 207th in the United States. We're trying to be number 1 in California here, guys. And to do that, we need to actually do the races and not go to work. So we're going to do this race. See right here, 30 laps. It's a grid start with the false start check. So we have to be very careful at the beginning. Racing mediums and softs are required, but I do not believe that there is a required pit stop. And you can change your suspension and your brake balance. A lot of the races have been like that lately. Everything else looks pretty normal. In GT1, we have heavy mechanical damage here, so we're going to try not to crash into anybody. Taking a look at our lobby right here, and we see some names that we've raced with. We see our buddy Tulipix. We're going to apologize to him real quick because let's see what happened last race. Oh fuck, Tulipix, I'm sorry. Oh, not good. Not good is right, so we're gonna apologize to him because we really jacked him up the last race. And now, guys, our qualifying session was not the greatest. We're gonna cross the line here at a 1:16.2, which puts us in P10, which is not the best, but we kind of knew this. Interlagos is not one of my better tracks, and top 10 on this track with a couple A+ racers in the lobby is pretty good in my book. And any second now, the festivities are about to begin. We're all going to get in this death trap of a car. And with the race about to begin and this grid start, we want to be very careful here at the beginning. We don't know what's going to happen, if people are going to spin out right off the get-go. Everyone looks like they've held it together so far. But much like our last race, guys, we're going to see an incident on T1. And it looks like 68 Nova just spins himself a little bit, goes a little wide, kind of gets in our way, and we lose a couple positions there, trying not to crash with this heavy damage. There's going to be another incident coming up right here, and this poor braking marker goes flying. We're going to take a look at that a little later in the race and see exactly what happened there. But you can see that poor brake marker got slammed, went flying. And now, at the end of all that, we've gained one position. And now we're really just trying to survive this first lap, not crash into anybody. We make a little nice move on Dash Rip Rock on the sweeping right-hander. Trying to catch up to the rest of the pack now. We can see someone's got a penalty up there already. And at this point, I'm really trying to figure out who I think is on medium tires, who's on softs. We started our race on mediums, considering we started back in P10. But coming around to the end of lap number 1, with Tulipix serving a penalty right there, we are up 4 positions at the end of lap 1. That's what I'm saying, guys. These cars are very unpredictable. And you can see we've gained 4 positions in 1 minute and 27 seconds coming around turn 1 here again. We have another incident. Looks like Dr. A flies off the side, gain another position, and just like that, we're in the top 5 now. On the slower compound of tires, we're going to try to make a move on M. Travato over here. Do we get it done? We do. Maybe we push him a little wide there. Coming around the end of turn 1 on lap 3, we are in 4th position now. And that's pretty incredible. In a couple laps, we've gained 6 positions just from keeping it clean and keeping it on the track. And in these longer races, I think that's what's most important. As you're going to see, we're going to get yellow flags here in a second. Looks like D. Birch has some sort of moment. We'll take a look at that one too a little later. Probably just flew off the track, missed his braking point, slid. These cars are very unpredictable, guys. Now we're trying to defend here at the end of turn 1 on lap 4, and we're going to have the tiniest little moment. Thankfully, we save it. That could have been much, much, much worse. But we lose our podium position now, and anyone not A1 has taken P3 from us because we're just getting a little too greedy. We're trying to get a little too flat there, and that's what happens. You lose your back end. As our tires are smoking, we're trying to catch up. I think he's going off the track here, but really, he's doing voodoo magic. We call that bad boy magic in this household. He's going all over the place again on this corner. I think he's going to go off the track. But no, he's just lagging, and joking aside, guys, he's making me very nervous now. I'm trying to give myself some space so that we don't have some sort of incident, because something's obviously going on with his connection. There's a lot of bad boy magic going on. Right here in my notes, for some reason it says, Nova makes love on me. Right there, you could see, he makes a move on me, but we're going to go with, he definitely makes love on me, because that was absolutely beautiful. Clean racing. If you guys remember, he had an incident at the beginning of the race, and he is now in P4 in front of me. Is he quick, or am I just slow? I don't know. Either way, I'm definitely going to try to follow him to the front of the pack now. The next couple laps, we're going to do some pretty heavy defending here. We have 51 Driver and Harry Balls behind us, and for what felt like forever, but was really just a couple laps, they were very closely behind me, and I was starting to lose time to the people in front because I was really trying not to lose my top 5 track positioning right here. Coming around the last turn of lap 6, you can see right there, anyone's still having some lagging issues there. I don't know what's going on with that, but making everyone very nervous. Finally, around lap 8, using our overtake there, we break free a little bit. Looks like maybe they had some sort of moment back there. We finally gain a little bit of room. And for a couple laps, we have some breathing room. Around halfway through the race, they did catch up to me. I'm not sure if it's because they were using their overtake, if they were burning all of that. You could see right here, we still have over half of our overtake. We're strategically trying to save that till the end of the race. So it's possible that the drivers behind were working with each other to catch up while also using their overtake. I'm not sure, but anyway, coming to halfway through the race, they've caught up to me, and I'm starting to get a little nervous, and we're now having our first action in the pits. We see Jag going into the pits, and now I see he's been on the soft tires this whole time. He's going onto the slower compound after this. I'm going to try to get in front of him so that he's not going to hold me up when he comes out of the pits. But we'll see if we actually get that done or not. Again, defending very hard against Tulipix and 51 Driver behind. And we're defending pretty hard here because we're going to see our buddy Tulipix is going to come up the inside and make a nice move on us. Went a little wide on that corner, and we're not going to fight him because we know what we did. We were bad boys last race, and I think that he deserves to have this position. But in the process of that, looks like 51 Driver also sneaks his way in there, and now I don't have any sort of history with him. We're going to try to defend this position as Defender goes into the pits, also on softs. 68 Nova also goes into the pits, also on softs. I'm on mediums. I'm feeling pretty good right here halfway through the race. And now coming around at the end of lap 15, I really wanted to pit here, but I chose not to because I did not want to battle with these people behind me. You could see at least one of them, at least Tulipix, went into the pits behind me. I did not want to fight with them, and for a split second, we are P1 in this race. Stoosman Brown is number 1. We're winning. I know it's not real. Just let me have it in my head. For a split second, we're P1, but not for long, because again, on this corner, Jag's going to make a great move on us here. And now, keep in mind, he's got mediums on as well, but he's got much fresher mediums than I, and so there's not much I can do at this point, other than pit on this lap because I know that Jag has already taken his pit stop, and I'm not going to be fighting with him when I come out. So we're going to go into the pits here, and we're going to get onto our soft tires finally. And I'm not sure if that was the right decision to go an extra lap on the mediums, but I think at the end of the day, I think it was better not to fight with those people behind. So coming out on our out lap here, let's see what position we're in. And it looks like we're going to come out in P9 with Harry Balls in front of us and S. Kelly behind us. And we are now on the softer compound, quicker compound of tires, and the only thing left to do is to drive clean, maybe push a little bit because we have the one extra lap, and try to gain some positions on people that started the race on the softs. Coming around the technical part of the circuit again, let's see if we can keep up with Harry Balls. Really going defensive here against S. Kelly as well. Really trying to defend my top 10 position here as we have another position gain going into the pits. Coming around turn 1. Really trying to keep it flat there, but also trying not to spin out, trying not to feel the pressure from the guy behind me. And we're going to feel pretty confident here for a second because we go purple. For a split second, we go purple. We were purple for a very split second this race, and we were number one. And again, that confidence is going to go away in a second as S. Kelly makes a nice move up the inside, coming around to this sweeping right-hander again. S. Kelly, I'm pretty sure he's pretty quick, so we're going to try to follow him to the front of the pack here. And we're going to have a little incident with Harry Balls coming up. S. Kelly makes his move. I'm going to try to follow him right through, and we're going to make a little bit of contact. And that was a questionable pass there. And I'm going to try to give him the position back. You can see I'm not going to use my overtake here. There was no damage done to either one of us. But I didn't want to slow up so much as to where we were going to lose S. Kelly in 51. But I also didn't want to use my overtake to try to break away from him too. Tried to find a nice middle ground there. Felt like it was a racing incident, but we definitely made contact, and we kind of want to, we want to make sure that everything is accounted for. Coming around to the end of the race here, and now it looks like Jag is in the pits once again, and now I said that I thought he was on the medium compound of tires when he made his move on me to get into P1, but it's possible that he was on softs, and now he's going on to mediums again, and he might have done some two-stop strategy. I'm not sure if he had damage or what, but he comes out of the pits again now. And coming around this corner, our buddy Tulipix is going to have a little moment here. He's going to keep it together, but he's just going to go slightly off track, and he's probably going to keep his foot on the throttle through there, and you're going to see he's going to pick up a 1.5 second penalty. I know that's P6 for us. I'm not going to push the issue too hard. I'm just going to try to stay behind him until he serves his penalty, and then we'll be in the top 6. Again, another moment there. He's got dirty tires and saves it real nice, and he's going to have one more moment on the last corner before he serves his penalty. But those dirty tires are crazy sometimes, guys. You really got to be careful when you go off the track, because this kind of stuff... What a beautiful save as he serves his penalty. That kind of stuff happens all the time when you go off the track. And then now Jag again, either serving a penalty, probably most likely serving a penalty, or maybe has some sort of damage. Maybe he thinks we're so handsome he wants to see us drive by. Either way, something happens to him, and we're now in P5 with 5 laps left to go. And all we got to do is keep it together, and we are going to have a top 5 in this Nations Cup race. Basically, from here until the end of the race, we're going to be doing some pretty heavy defending here against Harry Balls and Jag. Coming around at the end of lap 27, when we come around turn 1 here, we're going to lose Jag, actually. Check out on the mini-map right here. He's going to have a little slip. And just like that, now it's just me and Harry Balls to the end of the race. And let's take a peek at this very final lap now. We've defended Harry Balls for about 5 laps, and we just need to park it every apex, keep it together, and we're going to have a top 5 here. And there's still some positions to be gained as we see S. Kelly not too far ahead. We still have the slightest bit of overtake that we're going to save for the final straight, just in case something happens. We don't know how much overtake Harry Balls has. I'm assuming he has none. I'm assuming that most people have used up all of their overtake at this point. Harry Balls is going to try to make a move on me right here, and we have some good side-by-side racing through this sweeping corner. I'm going to try to keep it tight because I'm always losing positions here this race. And we park it there, and we stick it. We park it here, defending real nice. There's no way for him to get around. You can see him in my side view mirrors. And let's see this last sequence of events here, guys. Totally heartbreaking. Last corner, guys. Park it. Oh, we had a fucking moment. Go. Oh no, it's gonna be a drag to the end. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. No. Harry Balls, no. Oh, we had a moment at the end. Oh. And yes, guys, we did have the worst moment of moments, and Harry Balls, congratulations on your P5. I suppose we could have just smashed him into the wall and taken P5 from him, but we don't race like that. What an exciting and fun race, and now I want to take a look at a couple incidents before we wrap the video up. So we're going to take a look at the very first incident of the race where that brake marker went flying, there was smoke everywhere, and it's going to be negative waves that's the one that's going to take the brunt of that misfortune. And when I looked at the replay, I discovered that that incident actually stems from things that are happening right at the beginning of the race. So let's take a peek at what happens here. Right there, either Tulipix is going to miss his braking marker or negative waves is going to take a strange line. What's more likely is that it's just turn one shenanigans. Everyone's starting the race off, everyone's nervous. Everyone has to be very, very careful turn one because this kind of stuff is going to happen. And with this heavy damage in these GT1 races, in the GT1 league, right here, your race might be over. And we're 8.7 seconds into it. And that's actually going to slow everybody up and cause it so that 68 Nova goes off his track. Tulipix's going to pick up a penalty there for that. He's also going to get slammed in the rear. Now he's got damage on both his front and his back. And let's see what happens here as we creep up. To me, it looks like both negative waves and Tulipix. Here, to me, it looks more like negative waves is trying to cut over across in front of Tulipix, and he just spins himself out. He just completely spins himself out, ruins his own race, and unfortunately, Tulipix now has a 2-second penalty to deal with. And negative waves has a lot of damage, and actually he just decides to leave the race because, yeah, his race is over at that point. So now right here on lap 3, I want to take a look at what happened to D. Birch. I didn't know he was leading the race at this time. He's coming around the sweeping right-hand corner, and you can see he's not having to defend too hard, but he just catches a little too much of the curb. And it looks like he tries to overcorrect and go straight into the gravel and loses a great P1 right there. There we go. And anyone, not A1. And unfortunately, D. Birch has damage. Now he has front aero damage. And what a terrible incident to have happen to you in P1. And now the last little incident I wanted to take a peek at was our incident where we made a little contact with some Harry Balls. And let's see what happens here as S. Kelly makes his move. We're going to try to follow right up the inside. You can see right here on the apex, everything's looking so nice, so clean, so fresh, right? We're looking beautiful, but as we're coming out, as we're approaching our exit, you're going to see that, yeah, we just kind of shave him off a little bit there. And we just kind of push him off the track, and we don't use our overtake. We try to hold back on there so we can catch up a little bit. Let's take a peek at it from Harry Ball's perspective as well. Here it is with S. Kelly making his move, and us, we're going to try to just sneak our way in there, and you could just tell right there that's not going to work. Actually, all of us kind of pointing in weird directions here, and yeah, even from his perspective, makes me even look more like a very bad boy there. So we're sorry about that, Harry Balls, but you see, karma in the end, karma was served. Wow, so what a fun race, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around if you did. Since the last video, we've broken the 10 subscriber mark, so if you are one of the 11 subscribers we have now, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. We're going to be back this weekend on Saturday live streaming the next and final Nations Cup race of the season, so I hope to see some of you guys there. Until then, I hope all of you have the greatest week, and I'll see you on the next one. Stooseman out.